The day had finally come, the day Jesus had spoken of again and again, though few truly understood until it arrived. A day when the clash of heaven and earth would unfold on a wooden cross. The air in Jerusalem was thick with tension as crowds filled the streets for Passover. Yet the greatest sacrifice of all was about to be made just outside the city walls. Jesus, battered from brutal scourging, was led through the streets carrying the heavy beam of his cross. Each step was slow and agonizing, his body weakened by the lashes that had torn his flesh. But the physical weight of the wood was not the only burden he carried. Upon his shoulders rested the sins of humanity, the pride, betrayal, greed, hatred, and despair of every heart. The very weight of the world pressed down on him. Stumbling under the strain, Jesus fell. Soldiers, impatient and ruthless, seized a bystander, Simon of Cyrene, and forced him to carry the cross. Simon, perhaps reluctant at first, found himself woven into the most pivotal moment in history, bearing the instrument of salvation beside the Savior. The streets were lined with spectators. Some jeered and mocked, their voices dripping with scorn. "If you are the King of the Jews, save yourself." Others wept openly, especially the women of Jerusalem, their hearts breaking as they watched the innocent man struggle toward death. Jesus, even in his pain, turned to them and said, "Do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children." His compassion flowed, even when his strength seemed gone. At last they reached Golgotha, the place of the skull. There soldiers stretched Jesus out upon the cross. Nails were driven through his hands and feet, each strike of the hammer echoing like thunder against the silence of heaven. The cross was raised, and the Son of God hung suspended between earth and sky. Above his head, Pilate had written the charge, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." It was meant to mock him, yet it declared the truth more powerfully than any crown or throne ever could. As he hung there, the soldiers cast lots for his garments, fulfilling ancient prophecy, indifferent to the suffering above them. Around the cross, insults rained down. Leaders scoffed, passers-by sneered, even one of the criminals crucified beside him hurled curses. Yet from the cross came not condemnation but mercy. "Father, forgive them," Jesus prayed, "for they know not what they do." Beside him another criminal looked past the blood and agony and saw not defeat but a king. With trembling faith he asked, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And Jesus answered with assurance, "Today you will be with me in paradise." Even in his dying moments he opened the door of eternity. Hours passed. Darkness fell over the land at midday, as though creation itself mourned its creator. From the cross, Jesus entrusted his mother to John's care. "Woman, behold your son, behold your mother." Even in anguish, his love cared for those he left behind. Then, with parched lips, he cried, "I thirst." Offered sour wine, he took it and uttered the words that resound through history, "It is finished." In a final act of surrender, he called out, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." And with that, he breathed his last. The earth quaked, rocks split. The curtain of the temple was torn from top to bottom, symbolizing that the barrier between God and man had been destroyed. Even the hardened Roman centurion, watching the manner of his death, declared, "Surely this was the Son of God." As evening came, two men, Joseph of Arimathea, a respected council member, and Nicodemus, who once came to Jesus by night, gathered courage. They tenderly took his body down, wrapped it in linen with spices, and laid him in a new tomb cut into rock. A great stone sealed the entrance, and silence fell. Yet this silence was not the end. For hidden within the sorrow was the seed of victory. The cross, an instrument of shame, had become the throne of love. What looked like final defeat was in fact the greatest triumph, the reconciliation of humanity to God, the redemption purchased in blood. The crucifixion is not just a tragic moment in history, it is the heart of the Christian faith. Love poured out, justice satisfied, grace unleashed. On that cross, death was confronted, sin was defeated, and hope was secured for all who believe. If you are loving this video, please hit both that subscribe and like button to help this message to spread far and wide. Check out the rest of the Bible Stories playlist, to enjoy heartwarming events of the Bible brought alive. Thank you for supporting the Wake Up channel. God bless you.